Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into Rick Rubin's The Creative Act, a way of being.
Yeah, it's a really interesting one.
It is. And this isn't just, about painting or writing songs.
Mm.
It feels much bigger than that. It's more like a fundamental shift in how we even think about creativity.
Yeah.
Our goal here is to figure out how basically anyone can live more creatively.
Right. Regardless of job title or, whether you think you're artistic. And that's Rubin's whole point, isn't it? He reframes it completely. It's not something you do.
It's something you are.
Exactly. It's inherent. And we're going to unpack how that seemingly simple idea actually applies everywhere in your work, your home life,
Right.
everywhere.
Okay, let's start there then. Rubin talks a lot about creativity, beginning with just noticing things. What does he mean by that? Like, really mean? An artist noticing what others overlook.
Well, it's deeper than just looking around. It's about cultivating a real receptivity.
Receptivity, yeah.
Yeah, like being intensely aware. He mentions noticing patterns, feelings, sounds, and silence. It's about the spaces between things, too.
So it's not just the obvious stuff.
Not at all. It's active perception, tuning into the subtle things most people filter out. That's where the seeds of ideas often lie. It requires you to be really present.
That makes sense. But it also makes me think, who gets to be creative then? If it starts with noticing, is it still this special thing for a select few? Rubin seems to push back hard against that.
He really does. He basically says that whole idea of creativity being reserved for creatives is just wrong.
So everyone's creative, is that the takeaway?
Fundamentally, yes. He argues it's part of our human operating system. Think about solving a tricky problem at work, or figuring out how to arrange furniture in a room, or even just finding a new route when there's traffic.
Right, you're creating a solution.
Exactly. You're adapting, inventing. It's not always about making a painting. It's in those everyday acts. He wants to democratize the whole concept.
Okay, I like that. It feels more accessible. Which brings me to another point he makes. The work is the practice. This idea of showing up consistently. But let's be real. Sometimes inspiration just isn't there. How do you keep going then? Is it just pure grit?
Well, it's maybe less about forcing it and more about building the habit, creating the space for it. Rubin suggests that consistency itself kind of cultivates the ground where inspiration can actually show up. It's like you build the channel and then things can flow through it.
So the practice invites the inspiration rather than waiting for it.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Discipline creates the opportunity. It's about the long game, not just waiting for that lightning bolt moment.
Okay, so there's the discipline side, the showing up, but then almost paradoxically, he talks about the importance of silence and stillness. How does that fit in?
It seems counterintuitive, maybe, but he sees them as absolutely crucial.
Crucial how?
He calls silence, stillness, and solitude essential tools. They help you access the deeper stuff. Quieting the external noise lets you hear the internal signals, the intuition.
The subconscious, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah. It's about creating that inner space where subtle connections and, those half-formed ideas can actually surface. Sensitivity is key here, being open to receiving those quieter signals.
This connects to another big one for me, letting go of perfectionism. He calls it a trap.
Oh, absolutely. A huge trap.
Which sounds great, honestly.
Yeah.
Very liberating. But how does that work in fields where mistakes are, kind of a big deal, like building a bridge? You can't just iterate freely there, right?
Right. And he's not advocating for being careless. The point isn't make mistakes on purpose. It's that the fear of imperfection is what paralyzes you. Perfectionism stops you from even starting. What he values is the act of making, of exploring, even if the first version isn't right. That's how you learn.
So it's about the process of iteration, even in precise fields.
Exactly. Think prototyping, testing, refining, embracing that exploration, iteration, and sometimes failure are just part of how you get to something good. It frees you up to actually begin.
Okay. And being free from perfectionism seems linked to his next point, that you are not your art. Your value isn't tied to what you create.
Yes, this is so powerful. The idea is to detach your identity from the outcome.
Be a channel, not a judge.
Precisely. If you see yourself as just a conduit that ideas flow through, you don't get tangled up in judging them as they arrive or judging yourself based on them.
Takes the pressure off.
Immensely. It fosters this incredible freedom. You're not defined by the success or failure of any one piece of work. The work flows through you. It isn't you.
Which frees you up to receive inspiration from.
Right.
Well, everywhere, right. That's his antenna metaphor.
Yeah, the idea that we're all just constantly picking up signals. It's a beautiful way to think about it.
And the sources are so varied in the book.
Totally. He lists things like books, conversations, heartbreak, joy, nature, basically anything and everything.
So it's about staying open.
It's about cultivating that openness, definitely. Seeing the creative potential in the everyday stuff. If you're receptive, anything can spark an idea. It changes how you experience the world, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
So wrapping this up, Rubin's core message feels incredibly empowering.
Mm-hmm.
To live is to create.
Mm-hmm.
It's not some niche activity. It's woven into the fabric of being human. Seeing, feeling, engaging, showing up. If you embrace that, you can live more intentionally, more freely, definitely.
Absolutely, more fully.
More fully, yeah.
And maybe that leaves a thought for you listening right now. If creativity isn't just a task on your to-do list, but actually your fundamental way of being, how does that change things? How might that shift how you see even the boring, mundane parts of your life or your job? What could that unlock for you? Something to think about.